Hey, I was on a dating site and it was so weird. I was talking to this guy and we were just talking because he was like, he wants to settle down and all this stuff. And I'm like, I do too. I'm looking for someone who's ready to settle down, get married, and all this stuff. And things seemed like they were going really well until I said I was looking for like a guy that was like a vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, and how I wanted to have like a homestead and I wanted to have like animals and as pets, and so we could afford the animals as pets and everything. Have a petting zoo or something. And I'm like, you could take care of the animals and everything. And then he's like, no, I can't settle down. I can't do this and everything. And I'm like, why? And he's like, oh, I live with my parents. And I'm like, what do you mean? You're almost 45. And this guy, he's way older than me. But I was like willing to give him a chance. And I'm like, will I ever see like your full on face? Because he had like one of those huge beards. And it's like, there's like the hipsters that have the beards and they're cute, but like this wasn't like that. It wasn't like a cute hipster beard. It was like a big beard that was turning gray and it wasn't cute. And he was like, it's down to my chest. And I'm like, okay. Because like when you watch those old talk shows and they're like the husbands with the long hair and the beard, then they cut the hair and they cut the beard and then they put the husband out there and then the woman doesn't know it's her husband. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to have one of those situations like where I don't know what my husband's face looks like if I get married. So then like that was already like not good. And then the whole thing with like I was like, my happily ever after is I'll have some acreage and like plant pets and all this stuff. And then he's like, I'm like, you can take care of the animals and I'll take care of the plants. He's like, we can do it together. I'm like, no, because I might get scared of the animals. And I would say like taking care of the animals is more of like a man's job, and like plants are more of a woman's job if you had to like say which is which. So I was like, I do the plants. And he's like, we can do it together. And then he's like, I'm not taking care of animals and all this stuff for my family unless we're eating them. And I'm like, why would you want to eat our pets and stuff? And it like turned into like this whole weird like thing where he became angry because I'm like, yeah, I'd want the animals as like my pets. I'm like, I'd want a horse, a pig, a goat, and maybe because I didn't want chickens. And then he was like, yeah, he'll have horse, chickens, cows, and all this stuff, and pigs, and you can eat them. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna eat them. It's like, if you want to eat them, like, okay, go to the grocery store and buy it, but I don't want you slaughtering my pets, and I don't want to see that. And then he got like offensive and it got like hostile and weird. And like the whole thing was weird because it was like first he made it seem like he was this independent man and stuff and everything, but until I was like, oh, and everything. And then he was like, oh yeah, I can't do it right now. And then he comes out and he says, well, right now I don't have a job. And I'm like, okay. And then he's like, yeah, I'm living with my I'm taking care of my parents and I'm living with him. I'm like, okay, that sounds fine, but like you don't have a job. Then you start going on all this other stuff and the beard and then the anger. And it was just like, what the fuck? Was supposed to be like some kind of like sweet little thing, like fairy tale. Because if I really had like my fairy tale ending, like happy ending, it would be like I would end up married with a nice husband and we were like best friends and we did stuff together and we liked spending time together and all that good stuff. But because it was like I'd love to have a homestead, or I don't know about a homestead exactly, but a big backyard. I'd like a big backyard with a nice garden and maybe a dog and some other animals. But yeah, it's kind of weird how like that guy like freaked out like so quick, and it was like there was nothing all that deep about the whole conversation. And it was just like, he freaked so quick. And it's like, if you're doing this, and it's like, I'm just thinking, if we were together and then like I had all those as my pets, would you start slaughtering my pets or something? That's kind of scary when you think, like, I want a homestead. I don't know, but maybe like an acre or two or something, not like a bunch, or like maybe just some land. And I might not do much with most of it. I might plant a garden here and there, like I do now, and then have some animals and stuff. But I could not imagine if I married somebody and then they got mad at me and then they start eating my pets. Because I don't eat eggs, but I can, and I don't like chickens. But if I had kids and like they wanted like a pet chicken, I'd be like, oh yeah, you can get a pet chicken or whatever. And if it start laying eggs, I would like leave the eggs and let the eggs hatch and get more eggs, and then sell the pet chickens or something, or let the kids give them away or whatever. But I could not imagine if I was married to someone and then we had these animals as pets and then they just start eating them. And then the kids are like freaking out, like, why are you eating my pets? I could not imagine that. That would just be like weird. But then I've seen like YouTube videos where they're like, oh, but then they never said they were their pets. They always say it's their food. That's the difference. If I had like a homestead and stuff, they would be my pets, not my food. Yeah, but like little situations and like things go bad. And that was like on Badoo. I don't know. I've had weird experiences with guys on Badoo. I'll tell some more of my stories from using Badoo. It's a weird dating app, and it's like most people don't speak English on there for some reason, or they're from another country. But if you like, subscribe, and thanks for watching my channel. Bye.